Guys, Boston Chris here with our first ever Catching Up on ETX Rocks. This is the ETX Rock Show Catching Up, and our first guest on Catching Up is Gary Jones Jr. Gary, welcome aboard, man. So the concept with this is we're going to put this out on Facebook every once in a while when we're talking to people that are coming back on the show for the second or third or fourth or eighth time, whatever it is. And Gary is back and forth between West Texas, East Texas. You are an East Texas born and bred.
An East Texas boy at home.
But you're doing a lot of stuff in Amarillo and Abilene.
I'm all over the place now.
Yeah, so I mean, he actually drove from Abilene to Longview. Amarillo to Longview last night. And I don't know how he does it, but he's got to pay the bills, so that's probably why he does it. But you're still a young guy, so you can handle it.
Young with an old soul and gray hairs coming in.
He has no idea.
Well, we're starting off with it, so it's all good.
Yeah. So this will be a lot of fun. We're good friends with Gary, and we like to have Gary over whenever he's in town. He's a heck of a songwriter, heck of a performer. And first, I want to congratulate you, man. Male Vocalist of the Year nominee.
I appreciate it.
For the Texas Country Music Awards, the first annual award show. And man, that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, just to be nominated, I'm stoked about it.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, I had the Songwriter of the Year in Nashville several years back, but that's nothing compared to being nominated for something in your home state, and especially with something like Male Vocalist of the Year, because that's such, and to small artists like me that are almost to the top where they want to be at, it's such a big honor.
Yeah, I bet, and I know you've been pushing the heck out of it. I know your fans have been driving that bus for you.
They have been pushing it beyond the belief.
Yeah, and Gary has his guitar, so I mean we are going to force him to play something, I'm sure.
This is,
yeah, that's your guitar.
This is the decoy. I don't really play it.
Well, we're going to find out. Tell us what you're going to play, man.
This is a song that was wrote by two of my favorite all-time songwriters. They're not here anymore. We lost them, or the last one we lost about 2 years ago coming up. It was wrote by Red Lane and Hank Cochran and performed by Waylon Jennings, and it's actually going on this album, The Outlaw. And I told everybody, I said I want to do one song that's a dedication to three of my biggest heroes. And so I was going back trying to find a song that would fit it, that had all three of them together. And I found this song called The Eagle.
Nice.
And I was listening to the words, and I've heard it several times before, and I actually sat down and listened to it and tried to put everything together. And then next thing you know, it sounded more and more like the music business more than anything.
Right.
And
so this is The Eagle.
The Eagle.
By Gary Don Jones Jr.
That's if we don't break a string.
Let's not do that.
I've been breaking left and right.
Lord knows I am peaceful when I'm left alone. I've always been an eagle, been a while since I have flown. My claws are sharp as ever, so is my eagle eye. Something's gonna go wrong when the eagle flies. So lay all your doubts aside when you go to bed tonight. My feathers are all ruffled now, I'm ready for a fight. Just because I took a while to fly don't mean I don't care. When you feel the shadow crossing the eagles in the air. Lately I've heard rumor the eagle may be lame. Just because I've been idle don't mean that I'm tame. You've jeopardized my freedom, my natural place to roost. wild fly don't mean I don't care. When you feel the shadow crossing, they turn the eagle.
The Eagle. So, man, Hank Cochran was, man, you talk about a name.
I love
one of the most underrated songwriters in country music ever.
He was. He wrote so many songs for Patsy Cline and God, everybody.
Yeah, everybody. And one of those guys that, you know, he was strictly a songwriter. Very infrequently did he perform. And unfortunately, that's why a lot of people have not heard the name.
He didn't really like to. He loved writing more beyond anything else. And I even asked him one time. I said, Hank, why don't you do more shows? He said, I can't express what I can on the guitar what I can.
Yeah.
On pen and paper.
He's one of those guys that could live off his mailbox money
yeah.
anyway. You know what I mean?
Shoot, he'd get a BMI award for $15,000 just for it to be wrote from him.
Yeah, exactly. So you did mention that you have an album coming out, and
We do.
We'll talk about that very shortly. But as you guys know, hopefully, this is Catching Up on the ETX Rock Show. And obviously, if we're catching up with Gary, then he's been on the show before. So I want to tell you guys, you can check out Gary's original interview with us. It's episode 35. You can see that on our YouTube, the ETX Rock Show, or you can go to iTunes and just search the name Gary Jones Jr. or ETX Rocks, episode 35, and check that out. We talked about a lot of stuff and kind of your legacy in country music and all the shoes you have to fill.
That's probably the longest interview that I've ever given.
It was great, though. It was a lot of fun, and we talked about a lot of really cool stuff that you've done in the past and what you have coming up. And to talk about this album now, though, because I know this is something you've been waiting for a long time.
We've been doing it just the production of it's taken for, well, I guess I'm spending more time on it I'm doing it slowly just because it's not financially, but it's because put more heart into it.
Yeah.
And I want
patience is important in music anyway.
Patience is very, very important, and knowing when to launch an album, when to hold back, and the album itself is beautiful. It's going to be.
And this is your debut album as well.
This is the debut album. And
So
I've never officially cut an album until this one.
Right.
I've always held myself.
So what's the goal? What are you trying to make sure this is out there for folks? I heard January.
I'm going to shoot for we're going to be done before January, but we're going to officially release it on January 1st because we're so late in the year right now. If we release anything, we're not getting anywhere on the charts. So January 1st, y'all be ready. We're going to be officially releasing it.
That's awesome.
But we will be doing, what are they doing? The teasers and
sneak
peeks and all that good stuff.
Very cool. So is this going to be a full album or an EP?
It's a 10 song album. We thought about doing a 6-pack, what we call the 6-pack album. I was thinking, no, that's a good idea. It's cheaper, but at the same time, you got to do it.
Well, I mean, when you're doing your debut album, though, I think it's important to have more, yeah.
But we are doing an EP with it, though.
Okay,
We're
very
doing that,
cool.
and we're supposed to be, I think we're going to shoot a video on one of them. I don't think we have one selected yet, but we're going to sit back and watch it.
Very cool. So are you, I know you're originally from East Texas,
I am.
but you're living out in West Texas now.
It is definitely, I am in West Texas. It's definitely different.
And I mean, you're making a big name for yourself out there. You're always busy, always playing somewhere.
We're going to shoot over 250 shows this year.
Wow.
Easily.
That's amazing. And I know, you know, you're trying to kind of put together maybe more full band kind of stuff as well.
I am. I mean, it's just, I've got a full band here in East Texas, but it's just cost so much to get them out there in West Texas. And it's almost like playing Nashville out in West Texas.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, if you want it bad enough, you'll go do it.
And what's the music scene in West Texas like in Abilene and Amarillo?
It's a lot different. It's a lot more red dirt material. I mean, we got Aaron Watson out there and Kevin Fowler up north, and it's more the true Texas country style versus, I mean, we got wonderful East Texas boys out here doing what they do. Whiskey Myers, JD and the Moonshines, and everybody. And East Texas is more the traditional style, and West Texas scene is more
The red dirt.
the hard hitting,
Yeah.
hard hitting guys.
That's pretty cool, though. I always find it amazing that it's the same state.
It's,
You know, all these different genres within the genre of country music
It's
is
unbelievable.
pretty incredible. So it's great having Gary back on the show in our first ever catching up with Gary Jones. And I think when we first did our interview with Gary, we did not play a game with Gary. So
we did not.
we're going to play a game with Gary. And what we'll do is we'll play this game, then we'll have him play another amazing song, and we'll find out where everybody can follow along with Gary, and that'll be catching up. So what we're going to do to Gary right now, I did not tell him about this. This is called What the Heck.
That's what I'm thinking. What the heck?
That's what it's called. What the Heck with Gary Jones. Are you ready for this?
What the heck?
All right, so the way this works, I'm going to ask you 10
Okay.
questions that are completely nonsense. Stop looking at my questions, Gary.
I'm trying to get a peek at
They're completely nonsense.
Okay.
But what you have to do is you have to tell me whatever pops into your brain
Okay.
when I ask the question. Don't try to
Okay.
All right, no filter.
No.
All right, so here we go. Number one.
We are going to put a filter on this to PG.
This is a PG. Yeah, it is absolutely PG. All right, number one. What the Heck with Gary Jones Jr. All right, isn't hitting the snooze button just reliving the worst moment of your day over and over again?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't have a snooze button on my phone. I got an iPhone, but I ain't got a snooze button because I don't ever wake up to alarm anyway.
Okay. All right, number two. And this is important. This is math now.
Oh, God.
If someone weighs 198 pounds
Okay.
and then they eat 2 pounds of crawfish,
Okay.
does that make them 1% crawfish now?
Depends on how much of a crawfish lover you are. Because I mean, if you start walking backwards, then there's your answer.
All right, number three. Where do squirrels go during hurricanes?
Well, are they carrying nuts or no nuts?
It does not say that, so let's. I don't know.
I guess they're gonna find the first big branch they can find and hold on.
All right, number four, and this is the important one now. If 4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea, does that mean the 5th person enjoys it?
How old are these people?
I don't know, Gary. The question is the same.
I'm gonna say.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that if you're a certain age, you do enjoy diarrhea?
I've heard the older you get, the more that you like.
The more enjoyable it is?
The more enjoyable it is.
Is that right?
That's what I've been told. I mean.
Oh, okay. So you heard it here first. The older you get, the more enjoyable diarrhea becomes.
I would give my honest opinion on it, but I can't.
All right, number 5.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say the 1% is enjoyable.
Okay, number 5. What happens if you get scared half to death twice?
After death twice, and I guess you finally die.
I don't know, because if you think about this, right, and this is math again. If I scare you half to death right now,
Okay.
all right, that means you have half a life left,
That's
right? Now, if I scare you half to death again, that means you have a quarter life left. So you never actually die, ever.
Oh, that's true. That I was supposed to.
You're only always half to death of wherever you are.
If I got scared half to death all my life, I'd be dead already.
Probably right. That is true.
Because I've had some pretty bad encounters in my time.
All right, number 6. If evolution is true, then how did sloths make the cut?
You know, that goes back to college.
All right,
That goes back to my college professor.
all right.
I told him one time, I said, you know, you can believe in evolution. I think everybody in this world has that ability to believe in what they want to believe in. I'm Christian, I'm Baptist. I told him, I said, you know what, I'm going to give you a hammer. I want you to go out to your car after class today. I want you to get on top of your car and beat that sucker until it evolves into a better vehicle. He didn't like that.
Did he beat the car into a sloth?
No, he failed that test.
All right, so what's that got to do with sloths?
Well, that's my thought of evolution. But if evolution was in fact a true statement, I think they got the work. I think they got the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
Yeah, I agree with that. The fuzzy end of the lollipop. You heard it here.
But I mean, God had a sense of humor when He made me.
That is true. That is true. All right, number 7. How violently do you have to fight the urge to scream when you hear an ice cream truck coming?
Pretty bad. Because we got several there in Abilene, and I'll be going down the road, and I'll see one going down the road, and I gotta turn around. I can't stop.
Yeah, it's they're just obsolete now. So
They
when you
are.
hear an ice cream truck, it's like
And you hear that sound too, and
Yeah.
they got that unique sound, and then you get up there to the window, and there's always that old man.
I know, right? That's because they probably started doing it in like the 50s
Oh yeah.
when it wasn't
At the
obsolete.
same time, it kind of reminds me of the guy off Family Guy too,
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Herbert.
All right, number 8. If there is a heavens no
Okay.
and a hell yeah,
Okay.
then why isn't there a purgatory perhaps?
Well, this is officially the first one,
Yeah, of catching up.
so let's make it official.
So there's going to be a purgatory perhaps?
There is a purgatory perhaps.
So what I need you to do,
because the outlaw said so.
what I need you to do is your next show, and you got to film this now, because I want you to get your audience,
Okay.
instead of giving you a hell yeah,
We'll do purgatory.
give me a purgatory perhaps.
Purgatory perhaps. We'll do it.
All right,
We'll do it.
and we'll post that video if he does it.
Stone Cold, I don't know if you're watching this thing. It ain't because Stone Cold said so anymore, buddy. It's because the outlaw said so.
Purgatory perhaps. All right, number 9. What's another word for thesaurus?
Thesaurus?
Mhm.
You mean like the book?
Yeah.
Well, besides dictionary, I'd say big damn book.
Okay, that'll work.
Too many words in that book for me.
Well, you do know that a thesaurus it's a book of words that give you the same meaning as other words. It's a book of synonyms.
You gotta think, I went to Quitman.
We'll be calling Quitman ISD to sponsor the first ever episode of Catching Up on ETX Rocks. Brought to you by Quitman ISD, the leader. No.
No.
Number 10, last question.
Okay, make it
All right.
good.
Oh, it's good. You're going to like this. All right, if a parsley farmer loses a lawsuit, do they garnish his wages?
I come from a ranching family.
Okay?
A parsley family.
Have you ever, do you come from a parsley family, Gary?
I might.
All right.
Parsley rancher loses his lawsuit.
Do they garnish his wages?
That's a good question. I mean, that's a tough one. Because,
You have to remember, this is the question right after thesaurus.
Because,
And parsley and garnish are the same thing.
Well, I knew that.
Quitman.
I'm a businessman, so. I've had partial payments, and I've had payment garnishes too, so.
I think we've all been there, dude.
Oh, I've had good reasons, though.
We've all been there. Look, every reason is good to you.
It is.
Like, all my reasons are great.
Well, I actually got let go from a job one time because I told them on my 21st birthday that I was not going to be there because I was going to be too drunk to show up. And they said, that's fine.
That's why they call him the outlaw.
They said, that's perfectly fine. Next day, go to work, or 2 days later, go to work, you're fired.
Wow.
I called in, though.
Why can't you come in? I'm going to be toe up.
They said,
It's my birthday.
I said, you can't drink alcohol here. I was like,
Well, I didn't
Alcohol
drink it
only.
here. I drank it at home. It's like the old Ron White thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I got thrown into public.
That's right.
Now with this guy, I feel sorry for him because, he's a parsley farmer and he's going to a lawsuit. So obviously something went wrong.
Yeah, it's like
real
maybe
bad.
he sent bad parsley, which doesn't make sense because
It's already
parsley's just there for decoration.
Exactly.
That's
Which,
weird.
I guess they didn't like the real fake stuff.
Fake parsley is a no-no.
So I'm going to say they're going to garnish his wages just because he's a parcel.
Fake parsley.
It's like going to the store and say, I want real fake diamonds.
Real fake diamonds, cubic zirconia.
Think about it.
That is true. We'll think about it later. So that was What the Heck with Gary Jones. That was fun.
Now my
Quitman ISD.
And we will be bringing you the rated R version next.
No, we won't.
No. Don't be on my channel.
All right, so Gary, you're going to do another song for us. Tell us what you're going to do. Is this going to be an original? He has no clue what he's doing.
I have no clue. I was too caught up in this.
We'll make him write a song about his answers from What the Heck.
Oh God, you don't want to hear that song. Well, you
Quitman,
do.
Quitman.
I started my life out in Quitman, Texas. You know what? Just make a song right here. We got material right there.
That sounded good. So you guys, check this out. This is going to be an Aaron Watson cover by Gary Jones Jr. We're both huge Aaron Watson fans.
He's my neighbor, so it's all good.
Lucky him. But I've talked to Tia Goins on the phone. He hasn't. So anyway, so he's going to do...
I've done something with Willie Nelson I can't speak out loud. That's hard to beat.
Quitman.
I blame you, Quitman. You're the blame.
So anyway, this is Barbed Wire Halo by Gary Jones Jr. Y'all check it out.
Let's get in tune first, let's see. This is the only guitar I've ever had that goes high when it goes out of tune.
That's the whole Willie Nelson experience.
This guitar wasn't even around at the time. Aaron, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. If you're watching, I'm so sorry. He's gonna reject me. This wasn't supposed to be a funny segment.
It's always
funny.
has the potential to turn into that.
It always does.
Yeah.
Well, God bless Texans and Macon, Shackleford. He read the Bible 7 times and he believed every word. That old beat up leather book had been through it all. He'd sit on the back pew so we could chew him the chops, singing Amazing Grace. Oh, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. He carried candy for the kids in the Sunday dress code. He'd take me fishing after church and taught me things I need to know. God Deacon didn't have a family, Lord knows he wished he did. He told the whole congregation that I was his grandkid. And today he joined up with Jesus wearing shiny pearl snaps. We sang a few gospel hymns and then the soldier played taps. I'll bet he's walking with Pete down a street paved with gold, showing off his brand spanking new wings and his barbed wire halo. Buried sweet in the grace before the war's through. Lord his left arm next to his ankle.
barbed wire halo. He always said he had country and soul. He's showing off his brand spanking new wings and his barbed wire halo.
Very cool, man. Yeah, man. We heard that the last time we tried to film this segment.
We tried to film it.
And it was awesome. So I wanted to hear it again. I really wanted people to hear your version of that. I think it's really cool.
I actually did, a couple of months ago, I was doing a show in Florida. I was down there in Daytona, Lakeland area. And I recorded the song, well, I didn't full on record, but I did a video of it, and I sent it to Kim Watson, his wife.
Right.
And next thing you know, she tweets Aaron that says, Mr. Aaron Watson, you might have some competition.
Wow. Kim's cool, too.
She is.
She's really sweet. So I got to tell folks out there, I think the reason why you and I are friends is because of this guy right here.
Uncle Dallas.
And it's been a year and a half since we lost him. But I think we both owe our friendship, because
We do.
if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know who each other was. And so every time I come around Gary, I think about Uncle Dallas a lot. And,
I think about him every day.
yeah, I do as well. So I mean, I just wanted to kind of put his name into this little segment, and he was something else.
He was. Anytime, even whenever we played the show in Canton a couple of weeks ago, and I love my drummer to death. He's one of the greatest, and still to this day, I will look back there and still see Uncle Dallas.
I can imagine. So tell folks out there where they can find your stuff. I know you have. Are your songs on iTunes already? I thought they were.
I got one on iTunes right now. That's pretty much your teaser right now.
Yeah.
It's called The Angel. Well, it's actually The Angel of My Life, I think is what it's actually down there as. And it's on iTunes, Spotify, the dreaded Spotify, I know.
Yeah.
Which I've got it on my phone, but
I finally do too.
I broke down.
Sorry,
all of us other musicians.
Well, there are a lot of artists out there that are pushing Spotify, even though
They are. I think we make like 12 cents off.
Yeah, but apparently the big labels look at Spotify followers now.
They do. There's millions.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it does help.
And or since I think it was October, I released The Angel. Or it was right before, or no, right after we did our first
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
I released it on K-Tab News.
Yeah.
And ever since then, up till now, I've made another 13.
Wow, that sounds like my YouTube channel. Well, I know that the first time you ever played it anywhere was on our show.
It was on the show.
And, we were really honored by that. And it's a great song. And I really heavily recommend folks, if you can't find it on Spotify or anywhere else, it is located on our YouTube channel as well. The very first time he played it was on our show, and we have that recording on our YouTube. It's the ETX Rock Show over there. So where can folks find you as far as social media and stuff like that, Gary?
You can find me on Facebook at, I've got two Facebook accounts. I got my personal, and then I've got my official Facebook for the band. It's, you go to facebook.com/the Gary Jones Jr.
Okay.
I'm on Twitter, Gary Jones Jr., Instagram, Snapchat, Reverb Nation.
You have a Snapchat?
I do have a Snapchat.
Oh.
How do you think I'm getting all these votes?
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
I advertise on Snapchat.
Right.
I make a banner, I put it on Snapchat, and I send it
I
to
guess that's pretty
everybody.
smart.
And I'll put it on my storyline, and then they got that new thing that they're doing, the World Story or something.
I don't know anything about that. I've never even been in Snapchat.
I've even, don't judge me, I've still got a MySpace.
That's okay.
I don't use it, but I've got it.
I think I'm going to get one. Let's bring MySpace back.
Let's go.
Just you and me.
Let's go.
Why?
Do you remember? Because she's a MySpace freak, a MySpace freak.
Wow.
Now it needs to be converted in, she's a Facebook freak or a Facebook stalker.
We'll just call it My Faceagram.
I could get in trouble with that.
My Faceagram chatter. That's all of them, right? Uh-oh.
I thought she was talking about some new kind of nap, and she showed me exactly face to nap.
Face the nap.
Well, face to nap, whatever you said though. Face to snap. Yeah.
We're having fun with Gary Jones. You know how this works when I say don't ever forget ETX Rocks.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is once again our very first segment of Catching Up, and we're with Gary Jones Jr. We're catching up with Gary Jones Jr. for the first time on ETX Rocks. We're hoping to bring some of these to y'all maybe a couple times a month, just spontaneously whenever we see somebody that's been on the show before, and we'll invite them over or we'll go to them and we'll see what they're up to. Gary, obviously you got a lot of cool stuff going on. You have your album coming out in January. Possible male vocalist of the year for the Texas Country Music Awards. You guys can check them out at texascountrymusicassociation.org.
You got it.
That's where you can go to vote. Make sure you're supporting him if you like what he's doing. I know that'll really help him a lot. He's got some stiff competition in that category.
Some good competition.
Yes, very good performers in that. So make sure you're checking that out. As you guys also know, we have the ETX Music Awards going on full force right now. You guys can vote for all your favorites for that at etxmusic.com. Just click on the vote tab. There's 35 categories you can vote for your favorites there. We once again, as we always say on the show, we want to thank you guys out there for supporting live local music. And don't ever forget,
ETX Rocks.
that is right.